has more than 19 years of experience in the field of education, and she is currently serving as a principal of Ram Ratna International School, which is a Cambridge affiliated school. She believes that a school should be a happy place for students and all stakeholders for effective learning to take place. I'm sure all of us, this thought resonates with all the educators out here, that if the school is not a happy place, and I believe that even for that matter, home, if your home is not a happy place, then I think that's where the problem begins. So, right from home to school, we need happy spaces for our children, and that's how uh, we can actually help our children grow and learn in a most effective way. Uh, Her school is deeply involved in community service and is acknowledged at various prestigious platforms for its innovative happy practices. I'm so glad that we are actually hosting this webinar with you, where you will actually be helping us through all the happy practices that your school has been following, because there's so much to learn from all the best practices that so many others are as well doing. But when we all come together and actually get to know that how is it that the practice is being put to use, so that's what creates an impact and on the lives of our students and learners. So thank you so much, and over to you, Dr. Jaya. We are looking forward to some very good takeaways today in terms of happy practices, how to build a positive culture in our schools, and how teachers can actually play a role in that whole context. Yeah.
So, namaste everyone once again, and thank you, THT. Thank you, Rakhi. I can see many of my colleagues and my friends, many inspirations being there today with me at this platform. It's a real privilege and pleasure. Thanks for being with you here. And now let me ask Rakhi to start with the presentation, because there would be too
Yes.
much to discuss. I would like
Yes,
you
yes,
to
yes.
put comments in the chat. And Rakhi, I would request whenever there is a question for me to answer, please stop me in between and ask me to answer.
Yes, I'm just the PowerPoint is just opening. It's taking probably a couple of minutes to open. Yeah. So just to
So,
yeah, sorry.
may I begin, Rakhi?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So, positive is a word which has become very cliched. And today we will try to explore together what do we mean by positive, and why am I connecting this positive with happy practices of my school. Let me tell you that I'm sitting here representing my school, and I'm very thankful and proud of my colleagues, my students, and all the stakeholders who have made it possible for us to try these practices in the school and to reach success to some level. So thanks to all the people associated with Ramratna International School, and I'm representing you here today and our school practices. So why positive, and why there is a need for positive school culture? Um, I know that as educators, whenever we meet, we always ponder upon the change that we see with every new class, with every new generation. And what we hear in the news also is very scary at times. We hear of road rage, we hear of children, even when they grow up, they have no patience, no tolerance, there is no respect, no compassion. People are so self centered. And we can just go on and on. I think this is affecting the society, and the roots lie somewhere in education. So we as educators have a huge responsibility of ensuring that while the children are with us in our institutions under our wings, we can make them sensitive, we can make them conscious and responsible to ensure that once they enter the bigger society, the bigger world out of our school, they prove to be responsible citizens, not only for the country, but the world. So it's important for schools to realize, if you want the change, that positive change in the society, where people are respectful, people are compassionate and responsible, somewhere we have to look towards it. And the schools have to become institutions delivering much more than just academics. So today, because of lack of time, I won't be able to talk of our practices more in terms of academics or professional development of staff. I have tried to take up those practices which revolve more around character development and values and compassion, etc., and community work. So, Raki, may I start now?
Yes, I have shared the
Hello.
screen.
Yeah, I'll have to bother you again and again to please
No
move
problem.
forward.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, please do that. Yes, Raki. Next, please. Raki, next, please.
This one, what is positive?
Next, please.
Next. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I was talking to you about. What is happening to our young people? Raki, I can't see the next.
Is this one?
Okay. Do you all see the slide with this question? What is happening to our young people? I only see the first slide, building a positive school culture.
One second. One second.
No, before this, Raki, please. I mean the second slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one?
So
Yeah.
what's happening? Yes, thank you. What's happening to our young people? They disrespect their elders, they disobey their parents, they ignore the law, they riot in the streets, inflamed with wild notions. Their morals are decaying. What is to become of them? These kind of thoughts the philosophers and educators have been pondering upon for years. I would also like to now bring your attention to the inscription on a 6,000 years old Egyptian tomb in the next screen. The next slide, please. The inscription says, "We live in a decaying age. Young people no longer respect their parents. They are rude and impatient. They frequently inhabit taverns and have no self control." It says it is 6,000 years old Egyptian tomb, though I cannot be 100% sure about the authenticity of this. But yes, there is a statement like this. The year mentioned may not be correct. So see why the positive school culture and what do we mean by it. The next slide talks about what is the positive school climate, and the first two slides actually were to tell us that there is a need to start working on it in the school by creating a positive school culture. And a positive school climate is the one, or the culture is the one, I will be using these two words synonymously. So is the one where individuals feel valued, cared for and respected. Next slide please, Rakhi.
Yes.
No, before this. So where all the individuals, all the stakeholders are valued, they are cared for, and they are respected. Because if they have lived this, they would know that the others also need this from them. And now coming on to what leads to positive school culture. So positive school culture requires the school heads and the teachers and all the stakeholders to ensure that they foster safety, they promote a supportive academic, disciplinary, and physical environment. They encourage and maintain respectful, trusting, and caring relationships. So if you see, it's all about making them feel safe, making them feel respected and loved, seeing that the environment which is provided, it promotes all kinds of developments. It is about respect, trust, and most important is the relationships throughout the school community. So if we move forward now, why do we need a positive school culture? May I ask Raki to move ahead, please? So why is school culture important? Raki, next slide, please. Raki,
Yeah. Can you see the next slide?
yes, please.
Yeah. Why is school culture important?
You have to move very fast.
Yeah. Is this fine? Are we there?
No, next one, please.
Okay. Positive school climate.
Why is school culture important?
Yeah, I am on that slide.
Next one, please. Okay, so why is positive school culture important? The research tells us that positive learning can only take place in a positive culture. A healthy school culture will affect more students and teachers' success than any other reform or school improvement effort currently being employed. So we all want the success in life. We want success for our children and for our teachers. And what it says is positive culture is the only way to ensure this success. And what happens when the school has a positive climate? It decreases absenteeism, it decreases suspension, substance abuse, bullying, and lessens teachers burnout while increasing their retention. Moving on to what it increases. A positive school climate increases, uh, go back please, Rakhi, one
Sorry.
slide back.
Yeah.
It increases students' academic achievement, motivation to learn, and psychological well-being. So we have seen that if you want success, this is what basically is needed. We want the students and teachers to be with each other, to support each other, to understand, to feel motivated, and psychologically also be healthy and happy. So this is how positive school climate helps all in the long run. Now, a school which has only positive vibes within it and around it can be considered as a happy school. So this is what in my presentation I'm going to consider. A positive school culture school is a happy school. And let's see uh, what is required to create that happiness at school. So all the stakeholders play an important role. As you can see, child is at the center, and everyone around the child plays an important role in creating that positive culture or happiness in the school. It's right from principal to teachers to sports coaches, the co-learners, their peers, what I mean, then the admin staff, parents, and one very, very important stakeholder, which is not on this slide. Do you think community also plays an important role here? Please move to the next slide, Rakhi.
Yeah.
I'm sure you agree with me that community plays a role. And yes, if you are working in sync with your community, this is when education becomes meaningful. And that is when you can say you have a positive school culture and it's a happy school. Now, let's say, what does the happiest man on the planet, Matthew Ricard, has to say? He says, every hour spent 10 seconds wishing someone happiness, it's transformative. So, if you're thinking of change and if you're thinking of happiness in the world, it starts with you wishing for somebody else's happiness. It's a profound thought, and I thought of putting it here. A 75-year-old Harvard study also says, it's not 75-year-old study, it is a study which has been going on for more than 75 years. And what they have found in the next slide, the most important factor in human happiness is good relationships. So everything mostly boils down to maintaining good relationships amongst all the stakeholders, between all the stakeholders in a school. Now, attitude plays an important role in maintaining and fostering good relationships, and also the overall soft skills and how you progress in life. And this research at Stanford University says that your attitude is a better predictor for your success than your IQ. And we all who have been working for a long time, we all know this very well. Success, um, to your success, it is a little lesser part of your knowledge and technical skills, but your attitude and the ability to relate to the to others plays a major role. So yes, we all understand that it's important to have good interpersonal relationships, to be able to empathize with people, to be compassionate. Let's see what uh, more do the researchers say. There's one research which says that most of the diseases are psychosomatic, and this is in fact scientifically proved. And it says that negative thoughts harm our lives at the DNA level. A person's social relationships, environments, and lifestyles affect their genes. It's quite an unusual thought. We don't usually think about it, but then let us now be very, very conscious that every negative thought is not just staying there in the mind and goes once you stop thinking about it, but it brings a change in us at the molecular, at the most basic atomic level. So why is complaining not good? What does the research have to say about it? Let's see in the next slide. So complaining isn't good for you. Rakhi, the next slide, please.
Yeah.
The research says neurons that fire together wire together, and it changes how people perceive you. I can't see the next slide.
Are you able to see? I am on the next slide. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Is
Yeah,
it
I'm
fine now?
able to
Can
see
you
now.
see? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And complaining shrinks the hippocampus, which is the area of the brain which is critical to problem solving and intelligent thought. And we as teachers have to solve problems all the time. And we are expected to be intelligent. We can't risk that. So complaining is detrimental to our intelligence and to our problem solving abilities. Complaining also impairs our immunity. It makes us more susceptible to many diseases like diabetes, heart diseases, etc. It makes the brain more vulnerable to strokes. Now, how this negative attitude affects us at certain other levels, it puts stress hormones into the blood, it suppresses the immunity, it also affects it damages the insides of the arteries. Now, once we know what all negative it creates, we are more conscious to avoid it. Now, let's see how we would be benefited if we can avoid complaining and move out of the negative approach, negative attitude in life. So, a positive attitude ensures harmonious relationships, better decision making capacity, better health, more wealth, and more happiness. This is what we all are looking for in life. So, uh, as we said in the beginning, it's not just about your intelligence and your IQ, but it's about pro social skills. And the researchers have shown that students learn these skills right from a very early age, and what they have learned in this area of education is far more determining of their success in their future lives when they grow up. I'm sure you all have heard of marshmallow experiment, where they saw which children were able to delay gratification, and it had a positive impact on their future success in life. So soft skills like kindness, cooperation, empathy, these are key to doing well in school and also beyond school. The level of pro-social behavior that a student shows in kindergarten could predict their education and job prospects, criminal activity, likelihood of substance abuse, and mental health in adulthood. I would now like you to come to my school, that is Ramratna International School, virtually, and let us take a look at those practices that we follow, some of those practices that we follow in our school, which help us create that positive school culture. So I guess we'll have to move from here to the next slide. I would like to begin with the practice which is highly appreciated and celebrated, and many schools have replicated this at their places, and we are happy to hear that it's successful there as well. What we do is we celebrate every day, and we celebrate it by acknowledging and practicing one value, one moral value each day. And this is not just limited to a day. We are seeing that it is becoming a way of life for us, for our children, and my colleagues also here can vouch for it, that we have become more open to appreciation, to expressing gratitude, to forgiving people, to smiling more. And let's see what are these days called. So moving on to the next slide, we start our week with Marvelous Monday celebration. You must have heard of Monday blues, but in our school we dance away the Monday blues. Rakhi, can we have the Monday slide, please?
Yes.
I am not able to see.
Yes.
Those protected. Yeah, the next slide, please.
Marvelous Monday. Yeah.
Yes. So there is a video in case if you would like to click on it. Otherwise, we can move ahead. It's no issue. So Marvelous Monday, what we do is first 10 minutes of the day, all of us with the students, all staff members, we all assemble in the assembly hall and we all dance together. So this is how we start a beautiful week with dancing together. Moving on to Tuesday. Tuesdays are celebrated as Appreciation Tuesdays. And what we have seen is that people are now open to appreciating others. They write note, they write letters, or they simply just go and tell them that they appreciate the other person for for whatever they do, for anything that they have done for them or for the school or in general to the society. Here you can see in the first picture, it's a teacher thanking the office boy, Mr. Dinesh. In the second picture, you see me appreciating these two beautiful girls. They give a new idea for our monthly magazine called Kaizen. So they are being appreciated for thinking innovatively. Let's move on to Wednesday. So we know that smile leads to happiness. Even if you're feeling sad and you force a smile, you can feel a change in your overall attitude. So on Wednesdays, what we do is we distribute smileys and we spread smiles. You can see that children giving smiley to the teacher, or it could be the other way around. The children giving smileys to each other. It's one bhaiya and one didi giving to each other. It is anybody can just give to anybody, and we have to see that we speak to people whom we have spoken for a long time and give them smiles, make them smile. Let's move on to our Thursday, that is Thank You Thursday. We keep hearing from people, and we also experience that children these days, or I would say the generation these days, including ours, feels entitled to certain things, and we sometimes do not appreciate or feel grateful for what we are blessed with in life. And I think this time, the coronavirus, we have to thank, which has made us so conscious of all the blessings that we have. So this is something which we have been doing for last more than 2 years. We celebrate Thursdays as Thank You Thursdays. We have, as of now, created some 35 prayers on 35 different aspects. You can see the first prayer given here as a sample is failures in life. Can we move to the next screen, please? The Thursday slide. Rakhi, I can't see
Yeah,
the Thursday slide.
we are on Thursday.
Okay, I'm sorry then. I don't know why I'm not following at the same pace on my screen.
Yeah,
So the first
now
slide
we
that you see is failures in life. So what we are doing is collectively together, the principal, teachers, the service staff, the admin staff, the students, everyone does a prayer together. And what we are doing here in this prayer is we are thanking God for failures in our life, because failure teaches us important lessons. It gives me a chance to know my drawbacks and improve upon them, and so on and on and on. And it also includes some promises. For example, it says, I promise that I will always accept failures and defeats gracefully, and I will try to work on myself sincerely. Give me the strength to accept failures and more capable, keep me grounded, and so on. So I think these children would would know value of people, would know value of things and opportunities, circumstances, and everything possible. So building in that sense of gratitude is very important, and this is what we do on Thursdays. I would like you to see on the next slide what are, I think we have not taken it here, but the last Thursday, because the children are at home, they have all created a beautiful video for thanking our coronavirus warriors. They've also done some artwork for it. I'm very
yeah, we
happy to
saw
see
that
that.
on Facebook. Yeah.
Yes. So it was all entirely children's initiative. I'm so happy that they have inculcated this value in them, and they don't need anybody to force them to feel grateful. Now, what does research have to say about gratitude? So being grateful increases happiness, uh, makes our immune systems stronger, increases students' positive emotions and optimism, decreases negative emotions, makes us feel more connected and satisfied with school and life in general. Yes, this is the picture which I wanted to show. This is what our children together have done and have posted on Facebook. You can see that. Coming on to Forgiveness Friday. Rakhi, are you on the Forgiveness Friday slide?
No, no, no.
So forgiveness is also one important attribute of character, and it's an attribute of the strong. Usually it happens that we feel asking for forgiveness itself is a very big thing. Realizing we have gone wrong and seeking forgiveness is very, very, very important. And this is what we promote on Fridays and other days, of course, because it has to become a way of life. At the same time, realizing that forgiving wholeheartedly is a bigger virtue, and one should be able to do that. Even in our daily lives, when somebody says sorry for something, we casually say it's okay. but we never pause and think whether we have completely removed it from our heart. Have we completely forgiven? So being able to forgive completely without any grudge, any malice in heart is what we promote on Fridays. And we promote this value, important value of our character. Saturdays we celebrate as Express Saturdays. First 10 minutes of the day, we all assemble in the assembly hall, and the children, the staff, anyone can just come ahead and express their thoughts, express their talents, their views and thoughts. So you can see in the picture, the one with this saxophone, he is an office boy, Mr. Greaser. You can see the students dancing. You can see me sharing some of my thoughts with the children. Yeah, moving on to Sunday. So we have given this responsibility to parents and children to ensure that they celebrate Sundays as service Sundays, and they have to find out some way to serve the society, serve at home, serve whoever and wherever you can. You can see these two girls with the mother serving in a gurudwara. You see the other girl helping her mother in the household chores. I would like to take you to our another interesting happy practice. Please move ahead. It is known as Alpa Viram, which means a short pause. It's a 3 minutes of quiet time that we follow every day during our third period, which starts at 10:30. This is a time to be mindful where you are free to just be there, just be yourself, just be in the present moment. Don't think of the past or the future. There can also be some questions which you can think about. I would show them in the next slide. Before we move on, let us hear what does our secondary coordinator, this beautiful Miss Usha Pujari, has to say about this practice. Raki, can you please click this video? This is a video by Miss Usha Pujari. Hello, Raki. Raki, I can't hear.
Is it fine?
Yeah, but I can't hear.
You can't hear. Uh,
Please check the audio.
I shall play it again. Audio is
Yes,
fine.
if the participants can hear, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, let me check. Is everyone able to hear? No.
No, there's.
Okay. Now? Some of them are able to hear, some of them are not able to hear. I don't know.
Is your volume there high? The one you have chosen? I can't hear. I can't hear. Okay, so let me just give you a gist of what Usha ma'am is saying. She says that this is her me time, and she feels refreshed after observing these 3 minutes of me time. It gives her a time to take a pause from the busy schedule of every day. I remember one comment of one colleague one day when she was sitting in my office and we together observed this Alpa Viram. She said, "Ma'am, it's as refreshing as a Nimbu Pani." And she was a new employee at that time. I'm sure Shaila is here in the group and she remembers that she said this to me. So let's move on to some research on silence. Please move on to the next screen. It says that silence restores the nervous system. It helps sustain energy. It conditions our minds to be more adaptive and responsive to the complex information, improves learning and memory. So these are the effects of silence. This silence is also making you mindful. This is a mindfulness practice, and let's see what the research has to say on mindfulness. It increases socio-emotional skills. increases academic performance, it increases happiness and improves interpersonal skills, decreases students' stress and anxiety, helps them to regulate their emotions, inculcates compassion. So quiet time is not just simple quiet time. It gives answers to a lot of your questions. It has an answer to every question that your heart and mind seeks. Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. And here I would like to acknowledge that I came across this beautiful concept and practice of quiet time from ETST, that is Education Today, Society Tomorrow. Uh, this is an educational wing of an international NGO called Initiatives of Change. And this is when I was introduced to it, and I have been sincerely following it every day in the morning, and now for last 2-3 years in our school as well, along with the entire fraternity of RRIS. I would also like to acknowledge that all the researches that we have been talking about, I have taken a lot of this material from my mentor, Miss Vijayam Karta. So thank you very much, ma'am, for guiding me, for always being there to share your knowledge. It has been very, very helpful and inspiring.
Dr. Jaya, I'm
Let's
just going to stop the share and start again because I can see a lot of lines, red and blue and green lines coming on our presentation, which is obstructing our view. Can I just restart the PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, I have no problem. This there is a question. What is the name of the institution? So it's Ram
ETST.
Ratna International School. It's Ram Ratna International School.
Yes, now it's clear.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So please move on. Move to the next slide, please.
Quiet time.
So we spoke about quiet time. This Alpa Viram is a quiet time. Yes, I said we can either just be without thoughts, just acknowledge yourself, just feel what you are feeling at that moment, or you can also have very active reflection. For example, these are the questions which Dr. Kalam has suggested for daily reflections, and I would like the teachers, educators sitting here also to make it a point to ponder on these questions if you plan to start with Alpaviram. So questions like, did I practice any virtue today? Did I do more harm than good today? Did I treat people with dignity and respect today? Was I fair and just today? And I love this last question. Was my community better because I was in it? So thanks, Vijayam ma'am. I try to make it my goal every day. I would not say I have reached there where I should be, but one day I'll make you proud because I'll keep working on it. Thank you. So let's move on, friends, to the next slide. I would like to take you through our practices which connect our children with nature. One of the practices called Nurture the Nature. Our students maintain a composter in the school where the floral waste from our school temple and from the vicinity, our campus is a huge, beautiful place which is full of trees, and we get enough of fodder and leaves, flowers, etc. And this can be converted into compost in these composters. What we have done is we have installed one in the school which is taken care of by our Ecominion Club. There are 4 other composters which our students have donated to 4 big temples of Meera Bhayandar, and the floral waste of the temple collected in a month leads to formation of around 40 kgs of compost. So that's a huge achievement which makes our children very conscious of managing waste in temples and all such places of worship. So here you see our child guiding the trustees of the temple about how to use a composter. Let's move on, please. I think Miss Paulmati has a question. She has raised her hand for quite some time.
Oh, okay.
And you also see our children visiting temples during Navratri last time and collecting all the waste from there. They brought huge quantities of these flowers from there and converted into compost in our school. The children also sell the compost to the parents on PTMs, and it is also used for gardening purposes within the school campus also. Please move on to the next slide. Raki, please move to the next slide. Yeah, so it's a new baby practice for us called seed bank. Our children have been collecting the seeds of fruits that they have been eating, and they wash the seeds, they dry, they pack and bring to school. What we later do is, in the next slide, you can see that these seeds are being converted into seed balls by our children. We have an agriculture college within our campus, and I'm thankful to the teachers and principal of the agriculture college who have guided our children and guided us how to make seed balls. Now, these seed balls are used as gifts to visitors and guests, and they will also be used by children for planting. So, this is how we are trying to connect children to nature, also making children aware and conscious of the fact that these are the things which really matter. Also, how one has to be so respectful towards nature. And I think, again, I have to thank coronavirus. I'm just trying to find positivity in these difficult times. Coronavirus has made us realize that life is basically the basic requirements are very, very simple, and one has to respect nature, connect with nature, and that is when you can look for permanent joy in our hearts. So moving on to another initiative of our students and all of us collectively. So we have done the rainwater harvesting in our school in such a way that every single drop collected on the school terrace is harvested. It is saved. It's a very simple, economical process. I would be very glad to guide anyone who's interested about how to do this. Very simple, very economical. So let's move ahead, please. Next slide, please, Rakhi. So education becomes more meaningful when the educators collaborate. The previous slide, Rakhi. What we did last July is we had 50 different organizations and 1,000 people in total who came together on a very heavily rainy day, and we planted around 1,500 trees in an area of 2,000 square feet using Akira Miyawaki technique. So this is when the children realized that planting is so important, and when everybody does some good job together, this is when you feel the connectivity. This is when you realize that if everyone comes together, nothing seems insurmountable, nothing seems daunting. So this was a huge learning for all of us at RRIS. Please move to the next slide. What you see here is a mobile van. This van has got books in it, so it's a mobile library. We also have a laboratory in this. So this mobile library and laboratory is named as Knowledge on Wheels. We have launched this initiative for about 1 year, and in the next picture you can see that our children visit the village Jamjharpada. It's a village very close to our school, about 3 kilometers from our school. And we have adopted this village for close to 2 years. This is one of the initiatives we have taken up with Jamjharpada. So our children visit the village. They interact with the children there. Please move to the next slide. They show them various books. They help them read and to learn how to read. They also show them experiments. They teach them how to perform experiments. They also provide materials for them to experiment on their own. Please move. So you can see the children in blue are RRIS students. The others are from Jamjharpada. Lovely children of Jamjharpada, very smart, very intelligent. So I would also like you to know that our school is a plastic bag free zone. And it could appear like a very small thing, but I think it changes the mindset. It's very important for making the students very, very conscious that they are not allowed to bring a plastic bag for any reason in the school. Now, moving on to our communication, how happy practices have to be brought in the communication area amongst all stakeholders. So one practice is called happy calling. Usually people feel if there is a call from school, it is not going to make you very happy. It could be about something which has gone wrong, the child has done something wrong, or something which is not very exciting. But here what we do is the children the teachers observe the children. If they see anything positive, they find worth mentioning to parents. They make a call and let the parent know what the child has seen positive in the child, what the teacher has seen. And what we see is that parents have become close to teachers because of this. The children also feel very happy when they come to know that a teacher has given a call to my mother or father with a positive news. Another happy practice which I benefit from personally is breakfast with principal. My day starts with having 3 to 4 children in my office, and there is free flow of all sorts of communication. They would talk about what they want in life, what they like in school, what change would they want in the school, what new they have learned in the music class, or sometimes they show me some new dance moves. And it has been an amazing experience. It's been going on for close to 6 to 7 years. And I would like to say that connecting with children has helped me get new ideas for improvement and betterment in the school. And it has created a very close bond with children. I never wanted to be an educator whom the children simply fear because you have to be feared, but they should respect and they should love you. And I'm happy that this practice has helped me do that. And I would also like to tell you that these practices can be tweaked to suit your requirements. As a teacher, how you can do something like this, it's up to you. I'm sure you're very creative and you will find your own ways out to follow these in your own way. So moving on again.
So the principal
This is
who's
another
also a pal. Yeah.
Did I please go back, Rakhi?
Yeah.
Before this, please. Yeah. So outside my office, I have a box which is not named as a complaint box or a suggestion box. It's called I Think I Feel box. It's open to all the stakeholders to write letters and communicate any of their thoughts, their feelings. And I'm so proud to tell you that most of the wonderful ideas that I have implemented in my school have come from children from this box. So what children do is they write a letter, I read those letters, I call them if I have to discuss. And anyway, I call them always to have a discussion with them, sometimes to understand how to implement, and if something cannot be implemented, then why. So it helps children to feel that they are valued, they are respected, they are loved. And this is not just to make them feel, but this is what I feel that they deserve. And it has created a very happy environment in the school. I would like you to please check this video by these two children who are sharing their thoughts on I Think I Feel. Or maybe if we are short of time, we can skip this.
This one, yeah.
We can move ahead. That's okay. Rakhi, we can move ahead.
Okay.
There is another practice which is for fostering relationships within the school, especially within juniors and seniors. Go back to the previous slide, please, Rakhi.
Yeah.
Buddy pairs. Yes. So the junior senior pair. Here the junior has to be a student belonging to the primary section and the senior from the secondary and IGCSE section. And here you can see that the buddy pairs, when they meet, they are on cloud nine. They just play with each other, they talk to each other, they have fun, and they also share their concerns, fears, and they feel that there is someone like a sibling who is there with them to understand and to help. I would like you to listen to Miss Kiana about her views on buddy pairs.
Back, my school came up with the idea to create buddy pairs, which means a senior student paired with a junior student as a buddy. So the senior student and the junior student are buddies of each other, so they can share their feelings with each other, they can talk to each other. It just creates a friendly bond and a brotherly or a sisterly environment. So we have the motto in our school that we live like a family, and we're trying to do justice to that by having this idea and having buddy pairs, so we can share our problems with each other. We can just talk to them, share our experiences. Though the small younger students may not be able to solve the problems of the elder ones, but still talking to them makes us feel a little bit of makes us feel light. And that's which is the initiative I love. I have two buddy pairs and I love to meet them frequently. We even talk to them after our school hours if we get time, and anytime that we are free during the school, we try to meet them and interact with them. So that's what I love. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kiana. Could not have expressed it better than you did. So, Rakhi, that's about buddy pairs. Please move to the next screen.
Can you see the next screen?
So, yeah, this one, please, this one. So, we see that the parents, teachers, and students are mostly these are the stakeholders who mostly communicate with each other, and the supportive staff or the admin staff usually stays behind when it comes to communicating with them on a very regular basis. So all the admin staff members are foster parents to our students. Each admin staff is allotted a class as a foster parent, and the same staff member moves with that class as they move ahead every year as the foster parent. So the foster parents spend time with them. They are like the second parents in school. They talk to them, understand if they have any concerns. They also organize various activities and games with them. Let's hear what this class with Ms. Dinah has to say about it. Ms. Dinah is a foster parent. She is a receptionist. Rakhi, I would like you to start the video, please.
Yeah.
Rakhi, the previous slide, please.
Yes, this one.
Yeah, I think just below the first picture, you will get the video link. So you were there on the right slide, the foster parent one, admin staff as foster parents. Yeah, this one. The first picture, below the first picture, at the bottom of the first picture. Let's start it.
There's my book.
Not the class teacher of the students, but I am their foster parents. Here at Ramratha International School, the students not only have a class teacher and a co-teacher, but also foster parents to whom they can come and share their joys, their sorrows. We, the foster parents, belong to the administrative department of the school. The students can come and interact with us. They have a shoulder to lean on. Arisha, what do you think about the foster parent?
Foster parent is the second parent whom we can clear all our doubts we have in our mind. She helps us in everything we want. We love our parents.
Okay, I think the audio was not very clear, but I hope you got an idea. This is how everyone remains connected, because we all have discussed about it, that it's all about happy relationships, good relationships amongst all the members of the family, of the school family. Please move on. Now this is to show you that apart from the regular meetings that we have with parents on PTMs, etc., I hold a special session every Saturday, grade wise, for parents to have an open, cordial communication. You can see us sitting in groups. You can see us sitting in the lawn also. This session is called Chat Over Tea. I will have to thank Mr. Modi for this. I took Chai Pe Charcha and made it as Chat Over Tea. This has been going on for the last 4 or 5 years, and this is a very successful practice. We all feel we are all at the same level. There is nothing like school versus parents, but we are all together. We sometimes watch videos on parenting or on education or something for our personal development. And we also hold discussions, we play games, we talk of positive growth that we have seen in children. We also talk of responsibilities that we must deliver. So we have been able to build a very strong community because of all these practices. I'm very thankful to the parent body of my school. They have contributed immensely in creating that positive school culture. And the students who leave the school after their IGCSE education, that is grade 10th of Cambridge curriculum, they still remain connected. They are organizing many events in our school. One of the practices that I would like you to like to mention is ex-students acting as mentors for their juniors. For example, uh, the students who have been heading co-curricular activities and those who have been doing very well, once they leave the school, they become mentors for their juniors for handling co-curricular activities. School code is another concept which I will be talking about in further slides. So there is mentor for school code, there is mentor for volleyball, mentor for football, mentor for swimming, and this way also remain connected and the juniors benefit from them. Now, when you talk of relationships, it's not just limited to within the school, but you have to expose children to community and their peers outside their school. So we have had student exchange programs with Billabong High, two branches, Andheri, Ms. Padma Negi is the principal, and Thane, Ms. Kalyani Chaudhary is the principal. I'm thankful to both of them and their staff and the management. We had a beautiful experience of collaborating and exchange. So grade 5 has experienced this exchange of both the schools and grade 10th of both the schools. And we wish to continue with such student exchange programs. It makes them appreciative of what they have. It also makes them aware of social skills. It makes them appreciate others, also understand how to build new relationships and how to maintain new relationships. Let's move on further to the next slide. Next slide, please. So this is a practice which is an amazing practice. I would like schools to try this. We keep hearing about students being bullied or ill-treated by their peers or sometimes seniors, and this can be very traumatic for any child going through it. And we do very exhaustive program where we continuously discuss with our children about bullying, making them very conscious and sensitive towards it, neither to become a victim nor to become a bully or to become a bystander. One of the practices that we have is called school code. It has the head boy, head girl, and some chosen children as the members. We also have our counselor, school counselor, some of the teachers and myself as a part of school code. So what we do here is, if you see the next slide, you can see a child putting, no, sorry, I think we don't have that slide. So what we do is there is a box, some children, if any child has a concern about another child creating a problem, bullying, teasing, anything which makes her uncomfortable, she can write on a piece of paper and put in the box of school code. The school code members who are allotted this responsibility of checking these letters, they read the letters, then they appoint lawyers or advocates, for one lawyer for the complainant and the other for the complainee. They hold meetings and have open communications with them in a non-threatening environment and non-threatening communication. And what we have seen is, after a series of communication that students hold with the students, the child who's at fault usually comes up with a self-driven apology, a self-driven acceptance of mistake. I'll give an example. If suppose it has happened that a child pushed another child on a swing, and when they held these conversations, the child said that I find I have difficulty in managing my anger and I would like to work on it more. So the kind of punishment that we do is very creative because there has to be a judgment in the court, and the child was told to prepare a presentation on anger management, and he was told to deliver it in front of the entire assembly, though we did not tell the assembly what the child is, why is the child given this duty. In fact, we appreciated, we said that this child would like to present a presentation on anger management. So let's hear the head girl. If you could please start the video, Raki.
Starting in grade 9, I'm a proud head girl of a school where maximum efforts are taken to make a bully-free environment by introducing concepts like the school code. School code was initiated by one of my seniors who had reached a principal through the I Think I Feel box. School code, basically, in the process of school code, the students reached us through the school code box. Their problems and issues are analyzed and advocates are assigned who investigate further into the case, coming up with the results, declaring the guilty party. Once we know the guilty party, we assign them productive punishments. For example, serving the breakfast or presenting PPTs during the dispersal assembly, etc. Personally, I feel School Court has been successfully able to provide a platform where every voice is heard and supported. As a member of School Court, I have learned how to be empathetic and to be just. I really appreciate introduction of a program like this in the school body, and I thank school and the principal for this. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Tanisha. You can see that children are developing a lot of values here of being just, being fair, taking decisions. So moving on to another practice, we observe children's performance and we award those children and appreciate and acknowledge those children who have shown growth. So it's not just felicitation of the toppers that happens, but that happens quite subtly. It's not that the entire emphasis is on toppers. In fact, we have a celebration for those children who have shown progress. This is done to make children understand that their competition is with themselves, and what matters is not just coming top, but what matters is moving ahead. Keep on working. So this is what Kaizen Award is all about. Let's skip the video, please. Move to the next slide, as we are short of time. I'm sorry, Ms. Ulka, I can't play your video. Next one, please.
Yeah, we are on the next one.
This is a, yes, thank you, Rakhi. It's a unique initiative by this amazing girl. She is now in IGCS grade 10, Aditi Agarwal. When she started this, she was in 7th. So she wrote to me through, I think I feel box, that she feels sad on seeing the condition of books sometimes in the library where children are not conscious and they tear the cover pages, or they don't feel that they should take care of the book at home. And she said, I want to take up this initiative and start a book hospital. You can see in the first picture where she's sitting behind, you can see this poster, book hospital. So all the children who feel that the condition of the book is not good, they can leave the books there while depositing. And she has now kind of created a club. There are many children who have joined her, and they all go there in their free time out of their own will, voluntarily, and repair those books. I think these are the qualities which today's generation somewhere is losing. We feel if something is broken, throw it, buy a new one. But the beauty which is there in mending, the beauty, there is a beautiful term in Japanese, I think, wabi-sabi, which is about beauty of lack of symmetry, or beauty in broken things, repaired things. So I think that is something which is very beautiful. I'm thankful to her for this initiative. Next one, please. Next one, please, Rakhi.
Yeah.
There is another practice called learner at a glance record. Every class teacher at the end of the year makes a record of each child of her class in various areas, including social and emotional maturity, any personal traits, along with academics, etc. This is passed on to the new class teacher for the next year. We all know and say that a teacher should know John before she teaches John. So this helps the teacher to know John. And the next teacher again prepares it by the end of the year. It goes to the third teacher, and so on. So by the end, the child's file, which goes on from one teacher to another, has sheets added every year. Moving on to the next one. We like to appreciate and acknowledge the achievements of all our teachers and students, and hence every class has a shout out loud corner. Next slide, please. So we have a shout out loud corner for students' achievements, and we have one for teachers. I think you missed that, Rakhi.
Yeah, shout out.
Previous one. I'm bothering you a lot, Rakhi.
No, this is a shout out. This is a shout out.
The shout out loud corner. So every classroom has it for students, and then we have one for the staff.
Students.
Let's move on, please.
Yeah.
I think music plays a very important role in creating positive vibes. So all the break times that we have, whether it's breakfast, it's moving for lunch, departure time, or the morning entry time, we have soothing music played during those break times. So Please avoid the video. Let's I would quickly like to take you through meaningful celebrations which instill a sense of social responsibility. They must understand that celebration is not just about singing and dancing and having fun. It's about spreading happiness. It's about doing good. So Points for a Cause is an initiative very close to my heart. We started 3 years ago. First, I would like you to know that we have adopted this tribal village, Jamjharpada. And for this year, what we did after our survey, you can see in the picture the parents of my school, the teachers and students. Next image, please. We made a visit. We observed what are the problems that they are facing. I'm very sorry to say that this is very much a part of Mumbai. This comes within Borivali jurisdiction in Borivali. And the situation here is so dire that they got electricity just 2 months ago. The road is still not there, and they are in need of a water pump. Yes, it is a very sad situation. The school does not have, the area does not have any school. There used to be a Balwadi which has closed down. So this was shared with all the stakeholders. I held special meetings with the management, the PTA, the teachers, the students, and we all decided that we have to do something about it. So this year's Points for a Cause was devoted for this plan, which I will be taking further up. There are slides for that. So continuing with our work with Jamjharpada, I would like you to know that on this Republic Day, we conducted health camps for all the families, all 54 tribal families of Jamjharpada. So around 194 people reside there, out of which 155 took benefit of this program. We celebrated our last Independence Day as in the form of Dignity Project. The students, what they collect through Points for a Cause, that amount goes into charity account. This amount was then utilized for creating 120 dignity kits, which each kit consisted of an yearly supply of menstrual hygiene related material, sanitary napkins and soap and towels and undergarments, etc., which we gave to the girls and women of Jamjharpada. We also gave to the support staff of our school and the staff of a Gaushala which we have in our campus. So this is how we celebrated Independence Day. Let's move on. In our school, we have a Khushi Ki Diwar and a Khushi Ki Almari. So Khushi Ki Diwar is there in every classroom. Throughout the year, children feel inspired to bring things which would benefit the have-nots, the needy. Could be in the form of food items, stationery, games, clothes, etc. We also have a Khushi Ki Almari. On birthdays, our children bring books for Knowledge on Wheels program for Jamjharpada. They can also bring plants on their birthdays. So moving on, what we do with the items collected from Khushi Ki Diwar, we conduct the year-round Joy of Sharing programs with orphanages and various old age homes and NGOs, etc. Let's move on, please. And we live in an area where our school is in an area where we have a huge tribal population. So we also, am I visible?
Yes, but seems to have your video seems to have freezed.
Yeah. Sorry. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, you're audible.
So, so after the dignity kits and Khushi Ki Diwar and Khushi Ki Almari and Joy of Sharing, let's see how we celebrate Republic Day with the tribals in our vicinity. This is a 3-minute video. I would like you to play just a few seconds of it. Rakhi, please play the video of Khushi Utsav and Khushi Bazaar.
Yeah.
मधुबन खुशबू देता है, सागर सावन देता है,
जीना उसका जीना है, जो औरों को जीवन देता है,
मधुबन खुशबू देता है।
Khushi Bazaar is all about things that can be given to those people who need them, and Khushi Utsav is all about food, fun, and fair, organized by our parents, students, and staff and management. Moving ahead, you can see our children also celebrate Children's Day with something positive for the society. Like last time, we donated rotis and 125 kgs of rotis and equal amount of fruits to the cancer patients at KEM and Nair Hospital. And then we celebrated Earth Day with the organizing walkathon. All the stakeholders participated very enthusiastically. We also involve our parents, the families, in becoming agents of change through this new initiative of e-waste management. We call it as e-incarnation. So they bring all the electronic waste, and then we see to it that it is responsibly treated. And we do that in association with IDF. It's a very well-known NGO, and we are thankful to IDF and Dr. Iyer for that, and Dr. Pillai. Then we have an initiative called Coins for a Cause, where children make their own pots with hands. Please move on slide by slide. So children make their own pots with clay. Daki, please move to the next one. They take the pots at home. They save coins in it. Whenever they are spending for themselves, they are supposed to keep some amount out for those who do not have this privilege. Then they bring it to school after, let's say, 7-8 months. They break open these pots. They count the money that they have collected. Please move to the next one. And you can see here children's smiling faces with the total amount collected. Move to the next slide. For the last 2 years, the year 2018-19, we had collected around 80 lakhs of rupees. And with the help of the management, we were able to add more to it. And we donated 3 sports wheelchairs to the basketball wheelchair team of Maharashtra. And I'm very happy to share with you that they used these 3 wheelchairs and they won gold for India in the international tournament with these 3 wheelchairs. Please move on for the 1920. So Coins for a Cause collection for last 2 years, which was first it was close to 18. This year it was close to 1,37,000. And you know that I spoke about it, that this amount is going to be utilized towards Jamjharpada. We are going to install a water pump. It just got halted because of the coronavirus thing going on. So as soon as we get over that, we are on to Jamjharpada for this next project. Let's see how we have a purposeful learning environment. We all have heard of science clubs and math clubs and environment clubs, and they all are doing an amazing job in every school. But we have also started with a club called Happiness Club, whose job is to plan how they can bring happiness to others. Here you can see our teachers and children involved in conducting personality development classes for the children of Agriculture College. They come from very remote areas, and they are so shy that they can't even tell you their names directly. So they conducted classes for them to become more confident. Next slide, please.
As rightly.
We can skip the video. So I can say this with pride, not arrogance, that we received the certificate from TED for running the TED Club. We got the license. We seem to be the only school in Mumbai which is running a TED Club with license. So last year, the students were trained for coming up with their ideas, putting them into talks, and finally delivering their talks. These 14 students delivered their talks in the TED event organized by us, and all 14 talks were accepted by TED, and they are all available on YouTube. This year we will have the second cycle of TED. If you just click under
How many of y'all in the audience have cried before? You have cried? Man cannot cry, for it's only the woman who do so. This religiously followed tradition is nowhere in our scriptures, not even in our legal books. Still, it is somehow stuck in our mind. The society seems to have made different assumptions for a man. A man is considered to be the bread maker of the society. He
We can
is
stop it here,
responsible.
Rakhi.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rakhi. Thank you, Rakhi.
Yeah.
So there is another event which I have not added a slide for, but which I would like schools to start doing if they are not doing already. That is organizing Model United Nations conferences. Our ex-students take charge of it completely, and all the existing students also contribute to it. And that is an amazing platform for children to become global leaders, to become critical thinkers, problem solvers, and to learn to work in teams. And all 21st century skills that we talk about, uh, all that can actually be learned and practiced.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
moving
fact,
on.
yeah, that we do for the teachers as well, the teacher task force. Yeah.
Oh yes, you did that, and I'm so happy to tell you that my teachers participated as well as the
Yes.
vice principal, and you chose their paper. Their paper was chosen. I'm
Yes.
so happy.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations, Ms. Shella and
Yeah.
Dr. Smita.
Yeah. So it's a similar
Thank
program. Yeah.
you. Thank you. So I would urge all the other teachers to kindly enroll for the next program by THT for
It's a
based
month
on
for
the
teachers. Yeah.
one for teachers. So I would also like to tell you that it's not just about assuming that everything is going well, but we would like to have a record of what we are doing and what are the children learning as a skill, and are which are those skills in which they are becoming proficient. So it's just a snapshot of one grade's record, few children. So they are being, their skill is being analyzed in various areas like sports, academics, public speaking, art, logical reasoning skills, technology, leadership skills, and also the value systems. So by the end, the child moves out of the school after grade 10. We know what has the child learned in this school, where in which areas a child can make a future, where the child can really do very well. And I think that is kind of a report card for us. So this is something which I would suggest schools to try if they can. Now, this could look like baffling if people are not trying these practices. But I would like you to understand this is very much possible, and this is possible because of the wonderful team that I have. I'm sure every team in every school is just wonderful. Every educator is amazing, and they all are proving it to the hilt during this difficult time by remaining connected, doing their best, learning how to live digitally, how to be teachers digitally. So hats off to all of you. So please understand it is very much possible. Everything looks daunting in the beginning, and the beginning is messy, but the end is always gorgeous. And I would like you to think on what is your role. I understand some might have a thought that you are the principal and it's possible for you to implement things and make decisions. I understand there would be some differences in terms of our roles and responsibilities and authority and the powers. But I still feel that these ideas, most of them, the most successful of the ideas have come either from my children or from teachers or parents or collectively from all of us. So everyone matters. You matter the most. Each one of you sitting here today on the digital platform matters the most. And you can do amazingly well, much better than what RRIS has done. And we would probably try to follow your practices. I'm looking forward to hearing from you all again. And I would suggest that everyone has to think positive about it for bringing a change. It's possible, and we don't want to get stuck in old ways. So do your part to create a positive school culture. I'm so confident and sure you will do it because let's see the next slide, Raki. The change is difficult, but not changing is fatal. And the teachers never give up. The teachers have to prove they are moving with time. In fact, they are ahead of time.
Absolutely.
So what next? What next after the lockdown, or maybe after this session? Because we can always plan things even during the lockdown. So next is just do it. Whatever thoughts have clicked, write them down, plan how you can implement. I would like to mention here one teacher from Jamshedpur, Kerala Public School, Miss Kavita. She is a good friend. She heard of the school code concept. She spoke about it to the management and they were happy and they allowed her to start the school code there. And she's doing so well. Her children are doing so well. So don't worry about it. It's not just the principals who have implemented the practices, but the teachers who have done it in their own way. And you can do a lot more than you can imagine. Just do it. These are a few pictures from the MAN program, which I should have shifted earlier. I'm sorry. So here we come to the end of a long talk from my end. That's all, dear friends.
Oh, amazing. I have a question. So, how do you all manage the syllabus?
So I think when you are creative with things, you also find ways to accommodate everything. I feel when everyone is on the same platform, when the parents know, when the staff knows, your children know what you're doing and how it contributes to their overall learning. Our school's motto is learning for life, and I think education's motto should be learning for life. So when they see the importance of every single practice that we do, that this is actually learning, then we don't face those problems because teachers also understand how to relate that to what the school is doing. It's all about how you connect what you do with
Wonderful.
learning.
Yep. And the school code is something really, really, innovative that actually gives way to solving a lot of issues which children face in the classroom in a very amicable way, rather than, every time approaching the teacher because, poor thing, what all can the teacher do in the limited time? So it's a really innovative way to solve issues that arise, and that's what we see nowadays, the bullying and so many other issues. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. And when the children take up the role of responsible lawyers, they become so
Yeah.
conscious because they realize that their decisions matter and their decisions can have an impact on another person,
Yeah.
which is so important. The very first two slides we were talking about those questions, so they would not arise if children have this kind of a thought process. And Raki, I would like to go back to your first question and also add on that I would not say that this is very easy.
Of
It is
course.
definitely difficult. But then who says good things are easy? And for that, I have to thank my teachers. I am truly deeply grateful to each one of them. It's not easy.
Of
It's
course.
really
I
not
mean,
easy, and
would did
it's
if
all the stakeholders believing in it. Sometimes not even believing, but just doing because it is to be done, and later realizing that this was needed or this brought in this positivity in the school culture. So I can't take the credit. I can't say that everything is just going perfect. It is everyone believing in the same outcomes, working for the same mission and vision. And somehow, when you have best of the intentions, I feel the whole universe conspires to make it possible.
absolutely,
I believe in that,
absolutely.
and it happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, yeah, it's not easy. Education itself, by itself, we are living in a world which is changing so rapidly each and every day. What we're studying today may be obsolete tomorrow. So I don't think that everything comes easily. It's only through collaboration and efforts and consistency that we are able to see the change in our own schools and in our learners. And we talk about the 21st century learning skills, the 4 C's, and we hear so many webinars and we hear so many experts talking about the same. But what we miss out on is the practical implementation of these skills. So I think the school code actually gives way to all the 4 C's, critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration. So that's something that by itself is a model, practical model of all the 4 C's, incorporating all the 4 C's.
Very true. Very true. I would also like to tell you that you cannot restrict these practices to just your stakeholders that you consider as main stakeholders. It starts from every single person, from your watchman to the office boy, everybody. And you also have to give them a sense of belonging to the school by acknowledging them, knowing them, respecting them, creating a platform for them also to experiment and learn and grow.
Yeah.
I would like you to know that there is just one painting displayed in my office that is by a girl who worked as a cleaning staff initially. Seeing her talent in art, I promoted her as an art assistant. She's doing so well. She's very happy, and I forced her to appear in the art elementary exam and then intermediate. She has cleared both with flying colors. She initially complained to me saying that, ma'am, I don't even know how to fill the form. I said, learn, just learn how to fill that form for your examination, to write during the examination, which she did. And I'm so proud of her. So I think acknowledging your staff, valuing them, doing maximum internal promotions rather than bringing in new people, all these things help in creating that positive culture, the relationships, also ensuring that people understand what is the culture that they are further taking forward. Yeah. These are small things, but very important things. Our service staff, transport staff has a band, musical fiesta, and they are given several platforms like on Grandparents' Day, Sports Day, etc., to give their musical presentation. So, and the children learn to play them. So when the children know that these people are so talented, I think we cross so many barriers there.
Yeah. Of course.
I just
I think even the idea of the book hospital that things can be mended and we need to give it a second chance, rather than just dumping it in the waste. So that is something that also inculcates the value of respect. So we are, I think all the pointers as discussed by you actually contributes towards building not only a positive culture, I would say a holistic school atmosphere which is conducive for the learning of skills essential in today's world. And I think many of the schools might be doing it, and some of them are even doing extraordinary things
yes.
out there. So it's a wonderful a platform where we all come together and share what we are best at in order to just pick up whatever we can in our own way and then incorporate it in our own schools in our own way. So I think I just needed one clarification. You spoke about the student exchange program, so I just wanted to understand more about it, if you could elaborate.
So, student exchange program, what we followed till now is one day the students of my school visit the other school, and another day, not on consecutive days, but any days which are mutually convenient. So, one of the days their students come to our school. We plan for the day in such a way that it does not deal with a particular topic in a way which is connected to what is going on in any of the schools, but it is, let's say, if it is a science class, then it is about let's say chemistry. So if it is about so then it can be about experiments and making it a fun class, and seeing to it that it does not mainly focus on the specific chemical reactions and learning the equations, but learning about the science, learning about uh, how in general you can understand a subject, not a specific topic. So our teachers for mathematics did some games. The teachers in English also, I think they had planned some very exciting activities. Then we had sports events organized. So they had a match of
Okay, I think
classes,
yeah,
and there
yeah.
was something very interesting organized by Ms. Kalman. She had invited one sound therapist, yeah, someone who taught meditation or something with sound therapy. So that was something very
So
amazing.
so on this particular day when the students are coming on this particular day when the students are coming to your school, uh, how is the timetable managed? I mean, is there other teachers taking the classrooms as well as attending to students from other schools? Are the students
Oh,
seated in the classroom? How is it?
okay. So like I said, we had an art class. So that was in a big hall, art room. There was a dance class. So it was in the dance hall. It's a big multimedia room.
Okay.
Then we showed some video or let's say movie or something interesting for them. Then we took them to the playground. So, and suppose if the group is big, which was not the case in these classes, but if suppose it's big, we can divide them into two groups, having half students from both the schools, and then we can have simultaneously different classes going on. So I think it's very much manageable. It's just about deciding to come together and doing something together, for bringing our children together. It was a great learning experience for my teachers, their teachers, if I go by what the teachers have conveyed to me. Uh, and so was for the principals.
Wonderful, because something like this for the teachers would also be enriching and enlightening to see how the other schools are putting, uh, such practices, implementing such practices. So that is something that we were planning.
What I can do is, if anybody wants to contact me, if any,
No, Dr. Jay, I think your voice is cracking.
so So, Rakhi, anyone who
Can't
is
get you, Dr.
interested
Jaya.
can call me personally, can write to me.
Yes, yes. So you could leave your
Practice, we
email
have an
ID.
SOP for each practice. We did. Oh, am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be
I would just
cracking a
like the
little bit.
teachers to,
Yeah.
okay, just see the book.
We can see the book, but your voice seems to be cracking. Yeah.
It's called Happy Teachers Change the World. So I would suggest you to read this book. Hello, Rakhi.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Hello. I think I've already crossed my time limit. You have been very, very kind.
Yeah,
You know,
we've
some of
just
my colleagues, sometimes you go so much in the flow, you forget about time.
absolutely.
So,
I
can
we were completely in
see that I've
awe.
already crossed.
Yes, it was a long webinar, but it was a very, very fruitful webinar. And I'm sure we have gained a lot of tips, and there have been a lot of takeaways for all our teachers or school leaders who are attending this webinar, and also it's being telecasted live. So I'm so glad that we are able to share knowledge on a platform which is able to reach out to thousands and thousands of people to take it, and at the end, what we
It's
see
it's
is
all it's all open. It's all open to everyone, and even
yes,
I'm open to sharing more information and help if it is required. I
yes,
also want to acknowledge that many of those who have inspired me are today attending the
attending the
webinar like
webinar.
Ms. Lakshmi Kumar. So thank you, ma'am. It's a huge honor for me
Thank you.
to
Thank you.
have you, Sita Murthy, from whom I got the inspiration for Coins for a Cause. They do Coins for the Country
Oh,
initiative.
okay.
So I
Okay.
got so Rakhi, thank you very much. I
Yes.
wish all the best to
Maybe
all the teachers.
maybe if I can request you to probably hold on for 2 minutes, and if there is any question from anyone, can we do that, Dr. Jaya?
Yes, yes, I'm open and I'm available.
Yeah, maybe a couple of minutes. Anybody would like to ask any questions or ask anything as to how a certain practice can be implemented, then maybe we could take one or two questions, and then we are good. And there are still some people waiting in
Yes.
the to join
Meanwhile,
the
I'm
webinar. Yeah.
writing my ID on the chat box.
Yes. So anybody's got any question?
I don't.
I think there were some which
It's
were
my
coming
mobile
in.
number where you can write WhatsApp message.
And I like the letterbox outside your office.
I think I feel box.
I think yes, yes.
Yes. I'm also sharing my vice principal's ID. She is a wonderful educator herself, and she would also help you out in case if you're not able to reach out to me for any reason. I'm writing her ID as well without taking her permission. So I hope Dr. Smita doesn't mind this. You just have to replace principal with VP, and it's same at rrischool.org. You can make a note of both the IDs. See, she is so kind. She has replied also. She doesn't mind.
Yes.
So specific. I can see this question.
Do we see any question in the chat? I don't see any questions in the chat.
I see few questions like, do you have any specific criteria for selecting which complaint will be taken up in the code?
Okay.
So because it's a student-led initiative, we want the students to feel, the school board members to feel that they are the ones who would decide whether the case is to be taken or not. And as such, we take every case because a child who has put a letter there deserves to be treated with respect and to be told that yes, you have put the letter and it will be considered. So sometimes it's a petty, very, very petty issue. And sometimes even in the first meeting, the child confesses and says that, no, this was my misunderstanding. I just could not understand and it's all fine. So, but we still do our interrogation from our end. We also contact parents if required in some cases. So I think there is no such selection criterion. But yes, if anything is very serious, we all get into it very, very seriously. And
Great.
yeah, wonderful question. How can we implement these in upcoming schools for less privileged sector? I think she is missed on. I don't get this second part. Missing out on a lot of learning. So see, none of the practices involve money. None of the practices. So let's say if it's Marvelous Monday, you can just play some song on your mobile. You dance. Let the children dance. Tuesday you can do. Wednesday you can do. Thank you Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Express Saturday you can do. You can have this letter being given to you. You can have breakfast with them, lunch with them. You can have tea with parents. You can have coffee with teachers, or you can have your lunch with teachers, which I'm planning to start now. I think every practice is possible. Still, please speak to me and we can chalk out those activities which you can start without any preparation and any expenditure at all. And I would also
And
like you to know that the composters that we got, it was by reaching out to a corporate company, and it was as a part of their CSR initiative that they gave it to our students. I would also like you to know that for the dense forest project, we got a sanction of 3 lakh rupees from HDFC Life as a part of their CSR initiative. So it's all about just reaching out. People are there to help for a good cause. And sometimes it may not be monetary but it's very important to understand the importance of collaboration in the field of education. And hence we reached out to people and 50 different organizations came together.
do you cater to children with
Rakhi,
special needs? Yeah.
so we don't differentiate. Yes, it's not a school only for the children with special needs, but yes, we don't differentiate. We try to include everyone and provide inclusive environment. The teachers also plan their lessons in such a way which caters to the needs and styles of learning of different individuals. And suppose if there is anything which goes beyond our expertise or the teacher's expertise, then we have a very honest and open conversation with the parents, but seeing to it that we are there to help till the end.
Great. Lovely. It's just wonderful interaction and wonderful knowing all the best practices that your school is following. And I'm going to come to visit your school for the breakfast with principal. I'm going to be a
You
part of
can
that.
come for breakfast, lunch.
So
Yeah,
so
please, most
so
welcome.
so I can interact with the children and I can interact with you as well. Yeah.
Yes. So there is one Miss Sonali who has asked me, can we visit your school? So our doors are open and doors of the school and our hearts are open. Please come.
Lovely.
We really love interacting with educators and learning from all of you.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe soon we should have these teacher exchange programs where rather than going abroad, we should first visit the schools which are in a neighboring neighborhood.
Yeah. Good that
Yes.
you spoke about it, Raki. I forgot to mention it here. I
Yeah.
started with teacher exchange program around 3 to 4 years ago,
Okay.
specifically for IGCSE section. So my
Okay.
IGCSE teachers have been going to other schools to have a last minute kind of a conversation with the IGCSE students appearing in Cambridge examinations. And the same
Wonderful.
way I've
Yeah.
invited teachers from other schools to come and speak to my students before they appear in IGCSE exams. So
Yeah.
I think teacher
Much needed.
exchange, student
Much needed.
exchange is much needed.
Yeah.
It gives you a sense of belonging, it gives you a sense of confidence
Yeah.
and so much more.
Yeah, yeah, and I always feel that there's so much happening in our neighborhood itself. If you were to walk
Yes,
out and
so
see, I mean, you don't really need to go abroad to see the best practices. I mean, we all are doing it in our own way. So even if the teacher takes the initiative and goes up to the management or the principal and says that okay, on a particular Saturday or Friday we would like to go, I'm sure that no school management would stop that from happening. So I think even teachers can take that initiative by themselves and visit the schools in the neighboring neighborhood and learn from one another. So great. Thank you so much. I would like to thank all our participants. And though today is the second last day and tomorrow is going to be the last day, tomorrow's is something uh, fun and music that's being planned for since we have successfully completed the 21-day program. So we all should pat on our back, and we all should actually spend some time rejoicing that yes, we did build on a habit in these 21 days of connecting with one another and learning, most importantly, being a lifelong learner. And it's been an amazing journey and a start of something, I think, which I see these webinars going on and on. So maybe not every day, because I think now my children are also getting restless and they need me now, I think. So maybe not every day, but weekend webinar is something that we are planning, and that's something that's going to be announced very soon. And watch out for tomorrow's announcement as we come up with some innovative ideas for tomorrow to rejoice and celebrate the 21-day learning session with THT. So thank you everybody for joining in, and thank you Dr. Jaya for your time and for sharing your best practices. And yes, we look forward to hosting you again on our platform over the weekends as we plan. Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Rakhi.
everyone.
Congratulations. Your
Thank
team
you,
has
ma'am.
done a great job. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
As you rightly pointed
All
out,
the
that I'm
best.
nothing, we are nothing without our team. Yes, absolutely. Thank
We
you,
are all
ma'am.
very proud of you. God
Thank
bless
you.
your young team and wish
Yes,
you all
yes,
the very best. And Ram
absolutely.
Ratna International School and Jaya Parekh is with you.
Thank
And
you. That's amazing to know.
great
Thank you
welcome.
so much. Yes.
Thank
Thank you,
you. Thank
everyone.
you,
Yes,
everyone.
yes. Bye.
Bye bye.